All right, guys, in this video, we are going to talk about things that you need to do, things you need to know if you own a restoration company and you're working a freeze event. In case you guys don't already know, or at least at the time that we're making this video right now, there is a major winter storm brewing and it is about to hit the United States, and there's going to be a lot of frozen pipes. And that's the reason why we're making this video. So, that being said, this is also one of the first times that we have done a live stream. So I'm not entirely sure that this is working right now. So if you will bear with me, I will go in here and just look and see. It does look like we are live right now. So we'll just kind of dive through. I've made a few notes, and we'll just kind of go through this. If you guys have any questions about this or anything along the way, you can drop a comment down below and I will respond to each and every one of those, okay? So let's get started. The things that you are going to want to do and need to do during a freeze event. Number one, there are ways that you can get more leads. And as we are looking at this freeze event coming in towards the latter end of the week, today is Tuesday, December 20th, as I record this right now. Probably by the end of the day today, maybe tomorrow, you will probably need to already have this done. But there are other sources that you can get leads from the internet. Paper call services, 33-mile radius example, Service Direct is another example. There are some others that you can sign up for that may have some availability. If you haven't already, go ahead and reach out to those guys and sign up for their services. You can sign up for water damage leads directly from them. And if you don't know how, you can go to workwithshane.com down below me. We will walk you through that. Again, that'll need to happen in the first 24 hours, probably from the time you're watching this video. All right, but sign up for the paper call services and leads, water damage only, okay? Water damage only, and you will want to answer the phone a certain way. Make sure that you're working with a property owner and make sure that it is wet, okay? And those are the first two things you want to do. We have a full script on how we walk you through how to answer the phone and dispute the calls if they're not valid or if you can weasel your way out of them. And again, we show you how to do that. You can work with Shane to see that. The next thing that you will want to do for sure is this. If you are in an area where frozen pipes start breaking, they start bursting, you're going to get a lot of volume, okay? Most likely, right? Very rarely will there just be one or two. But if you wind up getting into an area where there's going to be a lot of frozen pipes, you want to be very quick to turn off those leads, okay? Guys, when you're using these paper call services and these internet sites that we will tell you about at workwithshane.com, you want to turn those off as soon as you start getting calls, okay? Well, I say as soon as you start getting calls. Like once you've got 5 or 10 calls, you don't need 20 or 30, okay? Not from those sources. What I would tell you to do is get your first 5 or so leads, document that, go take a look at a couple of them, and here's the deal. If that pipe situation or that pipe event is so big and so widespread that you're going to start getting 20, 30 calls in the period of an hour, and you will. When you get a big freeze event or a big heavy flash flood, the minute that it lets go, guys, I'm telling you, you will get 20, 30 calls. Your phone will ring nonstop off the hook all night long. And so what I'm telling you is these paper call services will sell you these phone calls for $400, $500, $600, $700. And if you miss 5 of those things, you could run up a $3,000 bill, and that can happen in a matter of 12 minutes. So be very careful when you're doing this. That's why I'm telling you, field your first 5 or so and have somebody go take a look at them. And if that's what you're going to have and it is a good freeze event, here's what I'll tell you. Your Google Maps, your Google My Business, you will wind up getting a lot of calls from your Google My Business. You will probably be able to turn off those internet leads. And here's what I would tell you to do. Turn the internet leads off, grab your first 5 or 6, and then turn them back off. Turn them on, grab your 5, 6, and turn them off. Okay, that's how you want to handle those. Which this leads me into my next point. So step 1, make sure you've got your internet lead set up from the paper call services that you can. And then step number 2, you want to start a waiting list, okay? And when you start your waiting list, you want to make sure with everybody that comes in, what's your name? How did you hear about us? If you don't already know that, what's your name? How did you hear about us? Is this for a home or a business? You want to document this in a spreadsheet, guys. You want to document this, write it down. Is it a home or is it a business? Okay, big difference. I will tell you this. You will want to work for homeowners more often than business owners. Why? Because you will want to work with the property owner. A renter cannot legally authorize your contract, okay? If this thing winds up being an insurance claim, you can't lien the property, you can't sue the owner of the property legally without having them in the contract because they own the structure. So if someone that doesn't own the structure hires you, then you're not going to have any legal recourse. You're not going to get paid, okay? So you want to work with the building owner. And so I'm just going to tell you, residential is going to be better for you, especially if you don't know. Don't get in the commercial world, not for these events, okay? So you want to work with homeowners. Is this for a home or a business? You want it to be a home. And are you the owner? If they are not the owner of the home, you don't want that job. You can't get paid from a renter, dude. I'm here to tell you. They need to be the owner of the home. So what you're going to find out, is this for a home or business? Write that down. So what is your name? Home or business? So it's going to be John Doe. It's a home. Are you the owner? And then the next cell will say owner. And then from there, you put the address. Put the address for the property, and then put the phone number, okay? And I'd probably get their phone number and email. So that's what you want to save on every one. After you get that for each and every one, just tell them you're working a waiting list. When you field the call, would you like to be added to our waiting list? If you think you might, you need to do so now, okay? And when you'll add them to that spreadsheet, okay, you'll want to leave a cell on the far right or something where you can do a Google map search and then look at the property and make sure that it's a good, nice, desirable property. You don't want to be working up in the ghetto or some Section 8 on these events, guys. No offense to poor people, but you can't help the people. They can't pay you, okay? That's not the jobs that you want, all right? So, look, I want them to get help. They need ServPro can go help them, okay? You do not need to. So make sure you're starting a waiting list, okay? Again, to recap, are you the homeowner? Is it for home or business? Name, phone number, email, address of property, and then you can, here's what else I'll tell you. Where do you see the water, multiple rooms, etc.? How big is it? That's a relevant thing to know. And then I would have a column for the square footage of the house, because the bigger homes are going to be the ones you want. And that'll bring me kind of to another sub point, if you will. When you're doing that waiting list, you're going to want to till that waiting list, right? Every 24 hours, call them, make sure they still need help, or if they don't need help, and you can cross them off your list. The waiting list is going to be super critical for you guys during the situation. You're going to get a lot of calls, okay? You're going to get a lot of calls, and you will land a third of your jobs from your waiting list. You will land a third, if not half, of your jobs from the waiting list. Start the waiting list. It could be a Google Doc, whatever you want, okay? Put it on a piece of paper, but make sure you collect that information. All right, now, next thing I want to tell you about, filing the claim. This is just real brief. I will tell you this, guys. If your homeowner has been traveling and you're doing that job, there are policies that have limitations. And they're going to say, how long have you been out of the house? I'm just telling you this. We have done several homes, several jobs during freeze events, etc., and the homeowner does not know. The insurance company does not read them their freaking Miranda rights like they should, okay? And so here's what I'm going to tell you. The insurance company is going to ask a bunch of questions to your property owner. If that property owner doesn't have cash to pay you up front, it's in your best interest to make sure that sucker gets covered. Do not let them walk into a denied claim because they guess on when the leak started. They're not sure when they left. Guys, if they've been out of town and that home is considered vacant for a prolonged period of time, they will deny that claim. And I just know that because I've seen it happen before. What can you do? I would answer as few questions as possible. Tell them you got water damage and try and get that sucker covered, okay? Try and get that sucker covered. And you want to give them an estimate, approximate estimate for the water damage right up front, and just send that sucker through. You need to learn how to work on templates too, okay, on drying these things out. They don't have to be exact and precise. You can shoot for them as an estimate. Are they going to be 7,000, 8,000, 3,000, 10,000? And then break it down of drying chambers. There's different ways on how you can quickly generate an estimate. But your homeowner needs to know what it's going to cost. You need to be able to get that to the carrier right away. And don't let them do too much talking, because I'm just telling you, they're going to wind up walking themselves into a denied claim. And I don't care if that happens or not. It is what it is, right? I'm not telling you to lie or any of that. But if you don't know, don't speculate. If you don't know, don't speculate, okay? And if the homeowner doesn't know, don't speculate, all right? So, for whatever that's worth. And if you don't do this very well, what's going to happen is some of your clients are going to get their claims denied, and you're going to have a hard time getting paid. That's what's going to happen. All right, now let's talk about the next thing that I really want you to do. When these freeze events occur and you get a bunch of work, this is what we call CAT situations, catastrophic situations. What you need to know is this. This is the one time where you, my friend, have to be very choosy in what it is that you do, okay? So it's very critical that you have the right documentation. You need to have the right work authorization signed. If you don't have one, we give you guys a copy of ours for free when you take our test drive. It's a 30-day thing with our program. You can go to workwithshane.com. There'll be a link in the description, and I literally give you a set of legal agreements and contracts that we used at my restoration company. I paid $5,000 to put them things together. Okay, you need to use that work authorization. Okay, and you can edit it where it has your name for the company name, etc. But get that, and make sure you have a proper work authorization sign. And then the recon agreement should be separate. So if you're doing reconstruction, which I would rather you not, make sure they sign the work authorization first, the reconstruction agreement second, or reconstruction agreement third. First thing is the work authorization. Once they sign that, number two, we also have a credit card guarantee. You need to get the credit card guarantee signed. You need to collect the credit card. You need to, guys. I'm just telling you. If that customer does not let you get a credit card from them, a credit card guarantee, you need to go to the next job. Whenever you're getting that credit card guarantee, here's how you way to present it. You sign the work authorization first. After the work authorization is signed, the next thing you do is say, okay, ma'am, now the next thing we need to do is we put a $1 test transaction on a credit card. That'll probably happen tonight or tomorrow. Which card would you like to use? We're just going to put $1 on it right now. And you leave it at that. And if they won't give you that credit card, go somewhere else. You're going to have plenty of work. I'm telling you guys, I would never, ever do a job if we don't get a credit card. Ever. So work authorization first, credit card guarantee second. If you we've got trainings on how to handle that too. You can get all that at workwithshane.com, fill out some form, shoot me a message, however you want. I think our phone number is 615-628-6185. Just go to Work with Shane and shoot us a message, and we can get you all that stuff too, okay? But get the proper documentation signed, and if that person can't sign your contracts because they don't own the property, do not do that job. Or if you do, just know that you might not get paid, okay? But now that's going to lead me to another thing. This is going back to running that dollar test transaction. You need to be taking $1,000 to $2,000 of a deposit on every job, even if you are submitting it to the carrier or they're going to submit it to the carrier. Guys, you are going to need $1,000 to $2,000. I'm going to tell you this, about 20% of that job at least you need to collect before you pull gear, okay, or as you get started. If you're not really good at sales, you're going to have a hard time doing that. So here's what I tell you to do. Get them to sign the work authorization, then do the credit card guarantee, and then when they do the credit card guarantee, you're going to tell them we're going to charge $1. Your contract already says, hey, you're going to pay me, and if you don't, I'm going to sue you. That's what that's what every contract says. And so those are the first two things. After that, once you get started, then you're going to say, hey, the next thing is going to be our payment terms, and I'm just going to tell you this. Get them their estimate up front within a day or so, okay? And then tell them that the invoicing terms, once you submit your invoice to them, they have 15 days to pay it, right? And it's due. And then, and what I would tell you is this. It will require a deposit for X amount of dollars to get started. And if it's a CAT event or big freeze event like we're talking about, something like that, then don't feel afraid to take 20%. Some of them will pay you up front for whatever. Be prepared, okay? Be prepared. If these are big CAT events, like we've done some in Nashville, I can tell you this, guys, like you will get to a point where you're doing a home and homeowners will be walking around asking you to dry their houses out at midnight because they see you. Like these are the events that I'm talking about. These are the really big ones. And at the time that I'm making this video, we're going to have temperatures 40, 50 below zero over many parts of the country, and that's colder than what is normal, okay? So you're probably going to have some stuff that's going to happen to that, all right? So be very choosy. Make sure you get the proper documentation signed, all right? So the next thing I want to talk about is the invoicing stuff, etc. Whenever you're doing your invoices for this, guys, a lot of people use Xactimate. You can if you want. If you can go to workwithshane.com, and we will actually give you guys some of our sample estimates when you take our test drive with Xactimate, time and materials, and with QuickBooks Online. I use any one of the three. When do I use them? I would use Xactimate when I didn't know better, but we quit using Xactimate. So that left us with QuickBooks Online or time and material. How did I decide what I was doing for either one of those two? If it was a large loss, it was a big job, then you need to tabulate things with a spreadsheet, and I would use a cover sheet, and that's what I would use time and material for. So we did that with Google Sheets and Google Docs, and I show you guys how we do that if you come into our program as well. But your really big ones, you need it to read like a story. That's why you'll use your time and material. Anything, and it's going to be water minutes over 18, 20 grand, Okay, stuff under 18, 20 grand, QuickBooks is sufficient. Okay, you need to write a story-based estimate, and it needs to look right. And again, go to Work with Shane to find that. I don't think I put any videos out on my channel regarding estimating or invoicing yet. So you just have to do it on Work with Shane. All right. So hopefully that's helpful. But the next thing I would tell you to do, you can charge after hours for everything you're going to do if you're going to do a bunch of CAT work. So don't be afraid to charge after hours for everything, or just charge regular labor rates and just raise the price to the after hour price. It's probably the better way to do it, because the insurance companies typically look at cost codes. So if you say after hours, they're going to say, we won't pay after hours. Just change your normal labor rate and make it equate your after hour charge. So let's say the average rate's $50 an hour, after hours is 92. Just don't charge after hours, just say it's 92. And that will be easier for you to get paid. All right, hopefully that's helpful. And then overhead and profit, I would plug that on all those. When you're doing a big CAT situation, just put, hey, we're putting overhead and profit due to the CAT situation. It's a CAT event with frozen pipes everywhere. And so there's our 10 and 10, okay? So hopefully that is helpful on that end. So let's go back and recap. There's still time. And guys, if you haven't already signed up for pay-per call services or these other internet lead sites, go to workwithshane.com and I'll show you how we do it. If you don't do this the right way, or you've tried it before and it didn't work, it's only one of two reasons. You didn't do it because you didn't know how to do it. You didn't know it was there, so I'm telling you it's there. Or number two, you tried it and it didn't work. Either one of those cases, it is there and it does work. You have to know how to do it better, okay? And I teach you guys how to do that. It's not cheating, okay? But it's kind of like, it's like football. I don't teach you to hold if you're trying to block the guy in front of you, but you're going to you can get called for holding on any given play. I teach you to play hard, play fast, play to the echo of the whistle, and play it right, okay? And look, here's the deal. They're out there trying to keep you down. You want to make sure you get all the jobs you can. I want those lead services to make money, but I want you to make money more than anything. It's a win-win on both sides. They're selling you a lead at a premium cost. There's a certain series of questions that you can ask, and if it doesn't fit that criteria, you can dispute that call, and I'll teach you how to do that, all right? So getting the leads from those sites. And that's going to help for the water leads or from the freeze event right now. But once the freeze event's gone, you still need leads. You still need leads. You should still use all of these services, okay? You should use all these services. So number one, sign up with the internet services. Number two, start the waiting list. Start the waiting list. And again, on the waiting list, is it a home? Is it a business? What is your name, address, phone number, email, okay? And then after that, you can look up square footage of the home and then put that in there, okay? Waiting list is super critical. Number three, just have them file the claim online, and just be aware of this. If you let them do too much talking and they don't know, that claim's going to get denied. That claim is going to get denied. Do not let them do too much talking. Tell them what they know for a fact. Don't lie, don't mislead, but if they don't know, don't speculate. Fair? All right? And then documentation. Get the right work authorization signed, use your reconstruction agreement, and do not do a job if they do not give you a credit card guarantee, period. All right? And if y'all need that, go to workwithshane.com. You can get all that stuff. And then the invoicing stuff. We walked you through the QuickBooks Online and or the time materials and Xactimate. Guys, as I record this right now, I've never done a live video on this channel. I don't even know if this is working as I make all this, right? I've been gone for almost a year since I've recorded a live video. Or recorded a new video for this YouTube channel. But we've got this huge freeze event coming, and I wanted to get this information out to you guys. So, again, if you guys have any other questions, drop a comment below. I'll read every single comment, and I'll answer you, okay? If you need help further, go to workwithshane.com, and then fill out your information, and we can go from there. Hope you guys work hard, stay safe, get some rest, but you're going to be working a lot, and you can be working, and that's good. That's good. You're going to have to triage your jobs. If y'all have other questions and the freeze event happens, then drop a comment on this video or shoot us a message at workwithshane.com. Good luck, be safe. Hope you guys do really well. Thanks.